Here in Las Vegas, gearing up for game number 4 of 6 here on opening day. As the Big 3 is back, and we're closing in on the three-headed monsters and Tri-State from Orleans Arena. Let's review 3 games in the books. Power and the triplets winners in the first 2, and then Isaiah Briscoe with 28 points in his Big 3 debut and a victory for Trilogy. Now welcome back here to Las Vegas. Ed Cohen with the former Spurs champion Avery Johnson. What a performance by the Trilogy backcourt. New era with Steven Jackson, and they are 1-0 here in 2021.
Yeah, very impressive. Whenever your backcourt can dominate the game like that, offensively and defensively, it makes the coach looks good. He makes his plays work more efficient on offense, and then defensively, those guys just got after it. And that's why they were so efficient and led Trilogy to victory.
Coming up right now, the three-headed monsters and Tri-State. Couple of Hall of Fame coaches, couple of teams had their bright spots 2 years ago in 2019. Their debut here in 2021 in Las Vegas. And for the three-headed monsters, Avery, these guys, Rashard Lewis, Reggie Evans, they've been mainstays.
Yeah, and they just complement each other. Rashard Lewis is more of a finesse player, the three-point assassin from behind the line, and then you get the banger, the bruiser inside, the physicality that Reggie Evans just punishes defenses, and every shot is a rebound for him in his mind, offensively and defensively.
Let's take a look at the roster breakdown for the three-headed monsters. Lewis, Mahmoud Abdur-Rauf, Reggie Evans, only team that's remained intact with their 3 core players since the Big 3's inception in 2017. And Gary Payton, the glove, back as head coach of the three-headed monsters. When they're rolling, they are indeed a tough trio to deal with.
Yeah, the glove. Are we going to have to mute the mics near the gloves bench, because the gloves like to get into it now?
There's a 7-second delay. Maybe we go to 14 seconds, knowing the deal here with one of the great defenders in NBA history in Gary Payton. On the other side, Tri-State, it's a new era for this team. Nate Robinson's now the captain. Amari Stoudemire into a coaching career, but boy, they'll have to find a way to replace some major production throughout his Big 3 career.
Yeah, Amari was just a big guy that you can play off the elbows, strong right-handed driver. It was hard to stop him once he got to his right hand, and the brute strength that he displayed inside, man, he just really punished his defenses.
Well, the cast of characters in place of Amari here for Tri-State in this new season. Nate Robinson, the man with Larry Sanders and Jason Richardson. You know all about Jay Rich. You get that explosiveness. It can make for a very exciting group to watch week in and week out here in the Big 3.
Yeah, Jay Rich, 2-time NBA slam dunk champion. I played with Jay Rich for a year in Golden State in the early part of his career, but look at the doctor.
Andrew, I think he brought that out in Miami last year. He's bringing it out in week 1.
Yeah, Dr. J, just always one of my favorites growing up watching the game of basketball. Dr. J and Andrew Toney, Mo Cheeks.
83 champs in Philadelphia. Brought that fight and excitement every night in the old Spectrum. Here we are now, Orleans Arena, home to the Big 3 in Las Vegas. Next couple of weeks. Really exciting year here in year number 4 in the Big 3. Avery, Ice Cube has spoken about this league is still developing and growing. This isn't the finish line. They're only building, but you add new wrinkles, especially after a year absence due to the pandemic. Go to the Bahamas, come to Las Vegas, go out to New Orleans. I mean, this is different, but it's all so exciting and fresh.
Yes, Ice Cube, in my opinion, should go around to every university in the country and teach 101 of marketing. because this guy, he's extraordinary, man. And the vision, you know, Ice Cube and the entire Big 3 team, man, he can't do it by himself. But the vision that he had for this league, and guess what? They've only scratched the surface.
No doubt.
You know, we have 12 teams. You know, who knows? In 2 years, we may have 16 teams. And the marketing and the partnerships that he has. We're on Triller. Did I get it right?
You did. It's awesome.
Fight TV, right? Oh, man, it's incredible.
Away we go. Tri-State in red, three-headed monsters in blue. Jason Richardson went up. Does not get the foul call. A 14-second violation here on the first trip.
Hey, I think the ref in that situation had on earplugs because I heard the slap all the way over here.
You know, if they expand, we might lose you to the sideline. Big Three's expanding. Who knows?
Hey, you know, it's hard to tell Ice Cube no, right?
Oh, look at the battle inside. This will be an interesting one. Former teammates Evans and Sanders, who was a three-headed monster 2 years ago.
Yep. I don't know what you want the defender to do in that situation. Maybe he needs to fall down.
Kevin Murphy drills the three. Let's set the lineups on the floor right now. Kevin Murphy, along with Rashard Lewis and Reggie Evans. Tony Roden in his Big 3 debut with Sanders and Richardson on a collection and finish guided in by Sanders.
Yeah, Murphy, a first-round pick in the 2020 Big 3 Super Draft.
Murphy gets free. Tri-State last year was 4-4. So were the three-headed monsters. Little jab step freed up room. Sanders off the mark. Murphy, the launch, hit 1-3 earlier and knocked out of bounds, I believe, off Rashard Lewis.
Yeah, Murphy's not shy. You know, he back in 2011-2012 season, you know, this guy scored 50 points in the college basketball. Whew. 50, not in 3 games, 1 game.
Big 5-0. Richardson open, and there's Murphy for the rebound. That was at Tennessee Tech in the Ohio Valley. Rashard Lewis, and they'll get a foul on the weak side in that tussle between Roden and Murphy.
You know what's going to be interesting in terms of fouls? You know, these fouls can add up pretty quickly. I know there's 2 fouls early in the game, and you know, one of the things as a coach, you talk to your team about get in the bonus first and stay out of it defensively. Play defense without fouling.
How about this matchup? Richardson over Lewis.
And there's always a caveat. Unless you have a really poor free throw shooter and he has a layup, then foul him.
Right.
Send him to the line.
It's only getting more physical off the ball between Evans and Sanders. Murphy shakes free. Can't get the finish.
You're right. They're really physical. It looked like Sanders is mad that Evans didn't invite him to dinner or something last night.
Lewis, Sweet Lou to Murphy.
And we saw that a little bit in the first game. When a guy is, I mean, extremely wide open for a three-point shot, they tend to take more time instead of just going up with a rhythm 3.
Don't think about it,
Don't think about it. Just shoot it.
Larry Sanders connects for Tri-State. They lead 4-3 here in the early going. Again, it's week 1. It's been 2 seasons before we got back from the pandemic as Lewis gets the friendly roll for the three-headed monsters. Sweet Lou. Lou Williams has the LOU. Lewis, LAW.
Yep. Now, the cut by Jason Richardson here on the last one, even though it was unsuccessful, we need to see a little bit more of that. You know, in some of the maybe earlier games, teams were stagnant offensively. So Jay Rich, you know, they've had a chance to watch, you know, a couple of games here early. and probably saw, hey, I need to cut to the basket a little bit more. That's what you call paying attention to the ebbs and flows of the game.
They waved the shot off. Tie up there with the great help by Richardson. He loves that backdoor cut.
Yeah.
Murphy stripped by Roten. It's going to stay with the three-headed monsters.
And it's going to be hard for Sanders to drive on Evans. You know what they used to say about Reggie Evans? He has country strength. That's just not weight room strength. That's just that next level.
That's some Pensacola, Florida stuff for Reggie Evans. The spin, the scoop, and the finish. Jay Rich getting going.
Now in that situation, it's probably a good idea for Evans is standing right here at the free throw line. Go down and support, help defensively, make them find Sanders. We'll see, moving forward, if Gary Payton makes that adjustment on that post up.
Jay Rich, a three-point play. Was not just a good free throw shooter, but a solid three-point shooter in the NBA. Career 37%. Evans bobbles. Sanders has got it. 2-point lead early going for Tri-State. Murphy, the newcomer, fakes into the paint. Runners not there. One-on-one. Sanders on the second chance. Got it. Waving it off because he didn't clear the paint after the miss.
Excellent call. Excellent call. Needs to clear the paint in that situation.
Avery, to what extent are those the types of plays? It's been a couple of years since playing the Big Three with these rules that aren't muscle memory at this point.
Yeah, and again, in week 3, week 4, Sanders is not going to make that mistake. Sometimes you got to get in the rhythm of the physicality of the game, the rules.
He knocked it away.
Now we have bring the fire.
Here's Richardson over Evans. Murphy trying to answer. The catch and the Lorenzo Charles finish for Reggie Evans.
That's when Reggie Evans loves to eat, especially on the corner three. A lot of times that ball's going to come off the other side. In terms of all the analytics, where's the ball going to go? He was in the right spot.
Larry Sanders catching nylon and nothing else.
And as much as Sanders and Evans have been really banging and playing physical this game, we'll see who's going to hold up, especially, later in the game.
Low scoring start. You mentioned the big word, physical, here in the early going. Rashard Lewis rips through. Gets his own rebound. Third chance.
Oh, that's a foul.
And they do call it.
Yeah. Tri-State, if you look at the team that's on the floor for the three-headed monsters, their best shot is a missed shot right now. So they got to do a better job of boxing out and paying attention to detail.
For the weeks leading up to the season opener of the Big Three, we asked users on social media to submit messages they wanted us to read during the game. Well, hopefully you're watching right now. First shout out goes to Darnell Campbell. Here's Darnell's Instagram post mentioning the 2019 championship game, world-class triplets. You got to meet guys like Al Jefferson, and the belief was there out at Staples Center. Thank you to Darnell. And the final shout out going to D. Buford. Here's D's post on Facebook. DJ and Jordan, Mommy loves you very much. Avery, we always love to see that.
Yeah, we love the mommy love. I got a little anniversary love this past week. July 6th was my 30th wedding anniversary to Miss Cassandra Johnson.
You guys are the best.
So shout out to Miss Cassandra. You joined us for breakfast this morning.
I saw what the meaning of love is. That's 30 years. That's a big number.
Yeah, 30 years. 2 beautiful children, Christian and who's 28, and Avery Jr., who's 25. That's our best investment.
Congrats to you guys, man. Awesome stuff. Here we are in Las Vegas, the marriage capital of the world.
Yeah.
Head coach Avery Johnson, our entire Big 3 crew here on Triller. And out of the timeout, Rashard Lewis. 2-point foul shot goes down.
And Ed, you and I are investing back-to-back weekends with the Big 3.
We'll be back.
We'll be back next week.
In short order.
Yes, love it, love it.
Tony Roden to the rim, able to scoop it up and through. Tony Roden, speaking of 30, Avery, had a couple of big performances in his times with Philadelphia. At one point, a career-high 31. Murphy, teardrop, no. Rebound, Jay Rich. Lost his footing, fighting for the ball. Tapped around, and Jay Rich for three. Nails it to beat the shot clock on a wild play.
But see, Jay Rich is going to get the credit for that shot, but that was all Larry Sanders. His hustle for 50-50 ball, loose balls, getting on the floor. You know, if you want to get a coach's attention, get on the floor and make something happen. That's what Larry Sanders did, and Jason Richardson made the defense pay.
Well, the Hall of Famers make so much of the Big 3 experience special. Dr. J entering Springfield in 1993 in the glove, all smiles 20 years later in Massachusetts. Gary Payton with John Sally, guys.
Looking great out here coaching, but your guys can't really score.
Well, the shots are not going down right now, Sal, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about how they hustling. Ball didn't go the right way the last play, but I think with Murph, he going to get his right. You got to get used to them balls. Balls is really sticky and slippery, so we'll be fine.
Okay, so you already know he's been in this situation. A win today?
Always. You know, I ain't going to say I'm going to lose. Always win, baby.
All right, here we go. Back to you guys.
Oh, he's from Oakland, so just when baby is in the blood, right?
Absolutely. And Gary Payton, throughout his career, did a lot of winning. And I don't know if I should be happy to see Gary on the sideline, because I was with the Super Sonics my first 2 years. Then they drafted Gary Payton and ran me out of town. And should I be happy to see Gary or not?
Well, at least you're not playing against him. That had to be tough.
Oh, that was a lot of elbowing. There was no freedom of movement rule back then. Just happy to see him on the sideline. You know, just shows, you know, look at the legends we have. Dr. J on our right and Gary Payton on our left. Hall of Famers coaching here in the Big 3. It can't get any better than that.
It really is unbelievable. Ice Cube spoke about it this week. Having Hall of Famers on the sidelines adds a degree of credibility to the league that you don't get anywhere else.
Nancy Lieberman, Lisa Leslie.
Oh, Evans, a monster head fake, and Tony Roden was halfway into the sky.
Smart play. Send Reggie to the line. I don't think you want to double team him.
Avery, coming back to the coaches this year, 10 are back with their respective teams. Rick Mahorn moving on to the Aliens. Steven Jackson now a trilogy, I should say 9 with their teams. Steven Jackson going from player to coach, and Gilbert Arenas now taking over with the Enemies.
And when you have 10 coaches back, that says a lot, especially after a year and a half off, how much they love the Big 3 and how well they're taken care of by, you know, Ice Cube, the Big 3, the owners of the Big 3, how strongly they feel and passionate about coaching the players. Man, this is a wonderful partnership between the coaches that are back and the Big 3.
Going to confer, I believe the shot clock did not reset for Tri-State and ran out. They'll put 7 on the timer.
Now, see, for veteran teams that have been together, they know exactly what they're going to do in this situation.
Tony Roden turns the corner. Earl Clark collects, denied. Evans, look at the fight for the board. Lewis swiped and fouled Earl Clark on a wild scramble, and that's really been the story of this first half.
rebounding. Loose balls and rebounding. Now look, inside, you have three of the three-headed monsters all in the paint. All three of them.
Rashard Lewis, it is still so amazing to watch that release, the way it comes out at his size at 6'10".
Yeah, when he gets it above his head, he's like 7'3".
Entry on the bounce. Evans strips. Jay Rich, the scoop and finish.
Got lucky on that one. That could have been a 3-second in the lane on Reggie Evans.
Nate Robinson waiting to check in for Tri-State. Lewis, the spin, the fall away. Here's that release. Evans, third chance. And Lewis with the finish in traffic.
Evans and Lewis, they're just pounding Tri-State on the glass.
Tri-State 16-15 lead.
You almost have to, if one of the Tri-State, one of the three-headed monsters players, if they're out on the floor, you got to get 3 against 2 on the glass to try to get those defensive rebounds.
Clark dragging Evans outside, and Earl Clark drills it. Really had a New Jersey guy. Last game in Briscoe scoring 28. Earl Clark from Rahway High School in New Jersey. Kevin Murphy answers with the 3. That's the second trifecta for Kevin Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy, I agree with Gary Payton. Just got to get used to the balls, get used to, playing 3-on-3. But we know he can score the ball.
Avery, we just saw the trends. How about another tie? Been 8 lead changes and a timeout from the glove. Gary Payton, we're knotted up at 20.
Yeah, not much defense being played right now in those last couple of possessions. Rhythm shots for both teams and guys feeling really comfortable.
Game 4 of 6 here today at Orleans Arena. And our second of the day on Triller. Great to have you along with us on the Big 3's new home here in 2021, along with CBS and Fight TV. And Dr. J, the doctor, is in the house.
Doctor looked like he's ready for the Bahamas. Is he sending a message to his team that sure he's going to look really good in the Bahamas? He wants to be a part of it.
I saw him yesterday at practice, and one of the first things he said was, we're a little different without Amare, but they have Jay Rich. Avery, your former teammate, late in your career, early in his. A couple of changes for both squads. Mahmoud Abdur-Rauf in for the three-headed monsters, and Nate Robinson tucking in the jersey and getting ready here for Tri-State.
What is Dr. J eating? Does he work out every day? This guy looks amazing.
Unreal.
Look at him, man.
It's the Hall of Famer diet. Whatever it is, it works. Contact. Robinson is thrown out of the play, and Lewis makes it in to beat the 14.
Wow, they got away with a foul, offensive foul. Basically, him a little ping pong against Nate in that situation. That was an illegal pick.
Earl Clark, little nudge, a little love tap from Evans from behind, but he's called for the foul on the floor.
Now give Evans credit because Earl's made his last 2, shots in that same spot. So he's going to push up on him and play a lot more physical with him and not give him a wide open look.
Came with a double team, and it was jarred loose by Mahmoud Abdur-Rauf right in the face of the co-founder, Ice Cube.
Now, if Reggie Evans is going to continue to jump out, the guy setting the screen, he's going to have to slip that pick.
Lewis takes Richardson near the 4-point circle. There's the switch. 2 to shoot. Mahmoud strips Richardson to the rim. Tri-State resets. Look at Evans. Look at Clark. Got it to go. Tough shot for Earl Clark.
And Earl Clark said, take that, take it to the bank. I'm taking it to the bank without the backboard.
They switch it again. And now Robinson guarding Mahmoud. Gets it back. Teardrop is good.
Compared to our last game, this game feels like it's much more physical.
Yes.
And, you know, if you're going to complain about fouls in this game, this is not a good game for you to play in.
Remember, 1st to 25. Gets to halftime. Robinson, the slit denied by Lewis. Evans backs it in. And we're at the break with the three-headed monsters leading by 4. Evans chirping with Earl Clark. It's been one of those games like a glove. Three-headed monsters in front against Tri-State. Big 3 opening weekend from Las Vegas. Take a timeout on Triller. Halftime on opening day. Big 3. Summer Las Vegas and three-headed monsters by 4 over Tri-State. Ed Cohen back with Avery Johnson. Well, the big word was physical and controlling the glass. Those were the keys early on. Three-headed monsters up at the break.
Yeah, they've just been eating glass. Their best shot is a missed shot. The physicality of this game is just unbelievable. The referees are allowing them to play. You know, Rashard Lewis is getting deep post position. Nice big pass from Reggie Evans. These guys are blocking shots. They're defending the paint. They're getting all of the loose balls. That was something that Coach Gary Payton said that he wanted to correct. He challenged his team, and basically they made the adjustments. And I just like when teams play tough and play with tenacity and take on the personality of their coach.
Oh, they did. Three-headed monsters, 19 rebounds in the first half. Tri-State with 12. And it seemed like Tri-State was throwing everything they could at a guy like Reggie Evans. At times it worked. At times, three-headed monsters found a way. A 4-point lead at the break. Fourth game of the day. Still 2 more left here on Triller. Great venue, Orleans Arena. Great city as host in Las Vegas.
It was amazing, you know, just traveling here. You know, it's just packed. The airports are just packed, man. It's just so good to see that people are just getting out and the excitement that we have in the air here with the Big 3.
Oh, John Sally fighting into that huddle. He's got Dr. J. John.
They're up there, Doc. You know you're my favorite. I've been telling you that my whole life.
Love you too.
And I noticed that this was Versace.
It was a what?
This is Versace you're wearing. It's just not, you're not just saying we're going to the Bahamas, I'm getting ready. You're wearing Versace.
It's Irving too.
Oh, okay. It's
Irving Versace.
Okay, so the thing I'm talking about is your guys are not putting the ball in the basket. What's the deal?
Well, I think we've been putting the ball in the basket, but we haven't been getting the loose balls. And these guys are getting second and third shots. So that 50-50 ball, we need to come up with more of those.
From the expert, back to you guys.
All right.
All right, John, thanks. Avery, what do you make of Dr. J's takeaway?
I think he was on our broadcast here. We've been talking about those 50-50 balls and loose balls. You got to really accelerate. You got to want those balls. You can't ball watch. In a traditional game, that would lead to a fast break. In our game, the Big 3 game, that's what leads to easy three-point shots or layups.
Well, we talked about Reggie Evans. Three-headed monsters turn to Mamadou Ndiaye to begin the second half at 7'6". Had the pick and roll in place, but Tri-State with the steal. Clark against Murphy. Roden, they had traveled, can't connect. Clark, gotta get it up high.
When you try to get it over a 7'6" guy, that's like, you know, when he puts his hands up, he's 9 foot tall. And look at all of the kids here, man. You can see the smiles on their face looking at the big fella.
He played at UC Irvine, native of Senegal. Mamadou Ndiaye was undrafted in 2016 in the NBA draft. Robinson over the big fella, and Nate, 5 6'9" over the 7'6" center for the three-headed monsters.
Nate the Great. I don't know if he can make that shot again.
Earl Clark's got his hands full. Nate Robinson jumped over Dwight Howard in the dunk contest. Can't connect there. Njai would be tough.
Yeah. And you know, Nate the Great, man, if he gets going, he can be electrifying and crowd favorite. I know two seasons ago when we were playing, it's just, I heard so many fans just say, Nate, after the games. They were just standing in line trying to get autographs. They love him.
A certain popularity that guys command in the Big Three as Murphy, nice turnaround, getting inside. Nate Robinson won 3 dunk contests, only man to do it. Tri-State with the ball down 6. Roden turning the corner, goes strong and scores.
Oh, the big fella, he's got to block that. I know Gary, baby, he's saying, Mama do. Block that shot.
Look at him posting up. Pass knocked away by Clark. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. He actually said to Gary Payton, I got it. Let's go back to Nate over Spud.
Wow. Man, that's just some unbelievable athleticism for somebody Nate's size to jump over anybody, let alone the former slam dunk champion himself, Spud Webb.
And a former college cornerback at University of Washington.
Nice pass.
Didn't know the shot clock and a violation here on Tri-State.
Yeah, in a situation like that, the pass was good. He just needed to pass it sooner. It was the right idea.
30-26, three-headed monsters with the advantage. Njai. Clark giving him a little bit of room. Mamadou Njai. Hook shot, not there. Second chance from his feet. Got it.
Yep. And, you know, when you're in a situation like that, when he shoots the ball, you can't turn around like Clark did and run underneath the basket. You have to box the big fella out.
Earl Clark sizing him up. Robinson timed it perfectly. That's not an easy carom 4-point game.
No, but that's all the little veteran plays that Nate makes. We've seen that consistently here with the Big Three. You got to always account for Nate wherever he is on the floor.
Njai was wrapped up, and it's going the other way. Sealed, offensive on the big fella.
Yeah, he displaced the defender with the hook. He wrapped around. Nice call by the officials. So here it is. Clark got out of position. He really didn't even need to hook Clark in that situation because he got out of position on the baseline side. He just needed to spin and make the shot.
Nate Robinson, you talked about it. When he comes in, could really give that boost of energy. It's a 1-point game.
Nate is basically like, you know, the microwave coming off the bench. He can come in and get buckets in his sleep.
Murphy bunts, count it, and the foul on Nate Robinson. Kevin Murphy with a chance at 3.
Now, we'll see as time moves on when Nate gets caught on a switch like this. He probably should switch and get in front of him and make them try to lob the ball over the top. Make the passer, that was such an easy pass. Make the passer make a better decision.
Murphy's got it, a 3-point play. So Avery Johnson, a 35-31 lead for the three-headed monsters. Opening weekend of the Big Three season. Nate Robinson is stripped, and the league has done such a great job after a year off, getting things back, coming to Las Vegas. Bahamas will host the championship. Ice Cube, Jeff Quatnitz, Commissioner Clyde Drexler, JYD, Jerome Williams, Sammy Trask, and then the entire group leading the way with the Big Three has done such a phenomenal job.
Yeah, and I know, you know, we're the Big Three, but boy, you know, we have just a dynamic five of what you just mentioned, Jeff and Clyde and Andy, you know, Ice Cube. Man, it's just this team that the Big Three has assembled, it can work in any sector of business because those guys know what they're doing.
Well, it's worked for this guy, Njai, the SWAT. And he's on the scoreboard. Three-headed monsters with the lead. Here in Vegas, three-headed monsters up on Tri-State 37-31 here at Orleans Arena. Officials taking a look. Nate Robinson, was it a 2? Was it a 3? He was square behind the arc.
Clearly behind the arc.
Over to John Sally with the captain of the three-headed monsters, Rashard Lewis.
Big Rob, as I always said, you're still a young man to me, man. You looking like you can still play in this league.
Well, Big 3 is my league. I love playing half court. 41 years old, but I still love to compete. You know, and I'm glad I do create this league because guys like myself love to compete.
Yeah, this fireball is real. So you're going to pull out a one-on-one, Sue?
Man, if they call us, if they challenge for the fireball, I'm going to back them down to that rim and try to throw the hook. But, you know, that's a new rule, and I think it's a great rule to challenge.
I just threw it out there so you remember.
Hey, next time we need you on the team. You going to come back and play?
No, I would coach, but, you know, Gary is very selfish with his players.
He is, but he's a great motivator. He's a great coach. And, you know, I played with him, but he gets us motivated.
Right. All right, back to you guys.
All right, John, thanks. Yeah, young player in Seattle. Gary Payton's one of your mentors, and now combination in the Big Three.
Really nice, and Rashard said, hey, he gets in the bring the fire, he's backing him out. He's not messing around.
Nice cut, Earl Clark. No hard foul. Kevin Murphy sending Clark to the line for a two-point shot.
Yeah, looked like Gary Payton decided they wanted to trap the pick and roll in that situation, but Murphy was a little bit slow in that rotation on the backside. Had he been there earlier, that would have been a steal. But those are the little adjustments when you're coming out of a timeout defensively. You want to change up your pick and roll defensive scheme. Fantastic idea by GP Gary Payton, but a little slow execution on Murphy's part.
Earl Clark can't make it stick, but Jay Rich with the rebound. Clark over Mamadou Njai.
And that's the one thing when you're on the free throw line, you're the defensive team on the line, you got to come up with that rebound. You don't want to give up offensive rebounds on a missed free throw.
They front Njai, and he's fouled by Richardson. So Mamadou Njai at 7'6", going to the line for two-point shot.
Yeah, looked like Gary Payton was just saving him, maybe just giving him an opportunity to see the flow of what happens in the Big Three. And even with Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, you know, he didn't get any early minutes, but now those guys are, you know, contributing right now.
He is not the same Mamadou Njai who played for 4 NBA teams and is now an assistant in college at UCF. But he had a really good college career at UC Irvine. He's now playing professionally in Mexico. Always fun to have guys who maybe went away for a few years. You don't remember from the NBA perspective, but have that new career in the Big Three. Backdoor, kicked around, and taken by Murphy.
I remember Mamadou when he played for the Warriors 2016 Summer League team.
Comes from a great prep school, Stone Ridge Prep in Simi Valley, California. Produced Taj Gibson, Nikola Vucevic. Murphy off the screen against Jay Rich. Robison able to grab that rebound. There he is, hesitation, altered.
See, yeah, Nate Robison's got to do a better job in that situation. And when that big fella jumps out, that's the time to maybe make what we call a pocket pass to the roller, post up the roller, bring the Mamadou outside. So that wasn't one of his better reads, but we know he's capable of reading the defense. There it is. That's the pocket pass. And now you got a wide open three.
Didn't go, but a good possession.
Yeah.
Opens, Mahmoud drills it from 3.
I've been watching him make that shot since 91. Or earlier than that when he played at LSU.
Now, you're a guy from New Orleans. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, the former Chris Jackson from Gulfport, Mississippi. Great lineage for over 30 years between you two.
And I believe, the second, independent of what the stats say, I think he's the second best scorer to ever come out of LSU. And you know who's number 1?
Mr. O'Neal.
Close.
Ooh, Mr. Maravich.
Yes. So we'll go Maravich first, Shaq second, and Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf third. How about that?
Absolutely. You know what's great? He went back to LSU, I think it was 2020, just before the pandemic. It was late February, and he got his number 35 retired, which was long overdue. And in hindsight, you're just so thrilled that it happened before the world shut down.
And you know what I love about the Big 3? Hey, if you're 50 and you're good enough to play in the Big 3, come join us.
Yes.
If you're 22, it doesn't matter. If you're good enough, you want to go to one of the tryouts, give it a shot. You saw all the guys show up for all of the tryouts this year?
Earl Clark, new to the league. Shot won't go, but it's tipped out of bounds. Off Tri-State. Avery, big juncture in the game right now. If you're Tri-State down 44-37. And Evans is back in. Kevin Murphy against Larry Sanders. Hesitates. Ball was jarred loose. Good D.
Looked like he kicked the ball.
Clark.
That's offense.
Contact, yep. Indeed.
Offensive foul. Nice defense by Rashard Lewis. He beat the offensive player to the spot. Look at the footwork here. Nice footwork without fouling. Absorbed the contact. Solid defense. Any of the young people around the world that's watching on that last play, that's how you play defense.
Murphy launches. Larry Sanders for Tri-State. The former three-headed monster with Clark and Richardson here in the final moments. Sanders hustling in and is fouled. They're going to put him at the line here. A 7-point game.
Yeah, unless a player steps on, we talked about it earlier, underneath on the baseline, you have to force a middle because you have no help whatsoever. And then the basket could be utilized, to go up on one side and reverse layup on the other side. It puts the defender in a really tough spot.
Avery, this is a time you look at a Big 3 season as Sanders can't connect. You're close, but can you finish? That's the difference between having a really good record or being in a fight for a playoff spot.
Finishing, and that's why it's so important. This is not a time for Gary Payton to say, okay, let me put Mamadou back in just because I want to get him some playing time. No, this is not about that. You got to get to 50 points. You got to keep the best 3 players on the floor at this time. That gives you the best chance to win.
Last year, both these clubs finished 4-4. We should say 2 years ago. And last season, three-headed monsters had the tiebreak, lost to the triplets in the semifinals. Tri-State losing that tiebreak. So every game over the course of the long year counts. Dr. J will take the timeout. His team down by 9 and point game right now for the three-headed monsters.
Yeah, smart timeout by Dr. J. Just want to get something here organized. They probably got one more push here. Three-headed monsters are 4 points away from winning this game. So I just think it's all about getting organized and getting the ball in the hands of the guy that he thinks could deliver.
Kevin Murphy has been a really solid Big 3 debut for the products of Tennessee Tech.
This guy's played all over in Bahrain, and second round pick in 2012 for the Utah Jazz. But man, he's well traveled, well versed as a scorer, and he's doing a magnificent job.
This is the starting group for the three-headed monsters: Evans, Lewis, and Murphy. Tri-State will counter with Clark, Richardson, and Sanders, trailing by 9. Can Jay Rich Tri-State get a little closer? Clark launches. This is well behind the play. Evans was knocked into the first row.
Yeah, by Sanders. Nice play coming out of the timeout to get Sanders a wide open shot. Bait a situation on the pick and roll with Richardson, but this may be a flagrant foul here. This may be a flagrant foul. Look at the push here by Sanders. I don't know. That's not a basketball play.
You could be looking at a flagrant 2.
Yes.
And indeed, they'll review for a flagrant 1. Appreciate the assist from the great officiating crew here in the Big 3.
Yeah, but this started early in the game with Sanders and Reggie Evans getting into it really physical early in the game. I didn't really see Evans do anything to, generate this type of animosity by Sanders on this play.
I mean, you look at it, Avery, that's a very dangerous play. You're pushing someone full steam in the small of the back.
Yeah, it's definitely a flagrant.
Yeah.
This is by the book. They shouldn't even take long to review this play.
Evans didn't even get the rebound. Murphy was the one who was there.
Yeah.
Again, former teammates. They played together 2 years ago at the Three-Headed Monsters. And you could feel that matchup was headed in that direction, physical from the start. A flagrant 1 on Larry Sanders.
Yep, confirmed it. So now, if Evans is able to make this free throw, then once they make it, then they get the ball back.
So they get a free throw. Yeah, get the ball back, but Evans cannot put it down. You're getting a lot of love here today. Dr. J, Gary Payton.
Because I'm a wannabe Hall of Famer.
Murphy lets fly. Evans fighting again as he was nudged away by Jason Richardson.
Murphy wanted to call game on that 4-point attempt. He wanted to send Tri-State home on that shot. But yes, I feel the love from GP, Are You With Me, Gary Payton, and Dr. J. I feel the love, baby.
As you should. It is a fight to 50 right now for the Three-Headed Monsters. Reggie Evans with the foul. They've been sitting on 46-37 for a while. Richardson the cut, bumped and fouled by Murphy. He's going to the foul line.
Excellent cut by Jay Rich in that situation. Murphy thought he was going off to the corner, maybe potentially for a 3, and he faked and stumped on the brakes and went back door. Excellent cut.
Dr. J gets Nate Robinson back in the game. Roll Clark will sub out. So Tri-State with a shot here for 2 points. Missed free throw, critical at this juncture.
Yeah, you see the difference in the three-headed monsters when Tri-State misses a free throw.
Oh, beautiful over the top lob, and Lewis with the adjustment.
Yeah, they're not going to allow them to get rebounds on the free throw line. A nice pass by Evans. Sanders was out of position.
Richardson got bumped by the official. Rebound put in by Larry Sanders.
Sanders is not a happy guy right now, so we'll see if we can finish this game without another flagrant foul. Or
Murphy bumped, shot no good. Sanders fighting, remains point game. Robison for four. Almost. Richardson, the swipe, called for the foul. Now, if you're Dr. J, maybe this is an opportunity to challenge and bring the fire.
Yeah, absolutely. This because, yeah, it could have been an opportunity, but especially if it was going to lead to free throws. But side out.
Murphy for the win. Kevin Murphy closing it out. And the three-headed monsters win it in week one.
No help, ball game. Murphy was excellent this afternoon. Got the ball inside. Nice pass by Rashard Lewis. Now look at the defender here. Sanders needs to come down and help. He's guarding Reggie Evans, who's not a three-point shooter.
Avery, a hard-fought win for the three-headed monsters. And Kevin Murphy with 19 to lead the way for Gary Payton's club into the win column here on day one.
Yeah, Gary Payton continuing his coaching. And I think we heard Gary Payton took a college job.
Yes.
Yeah.
At Division II Lincoln. Over to John Sally with Kevin Murphy.
Last play.
Okay, you're sitting here with your eyes watering, but you hit the big shot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, it was great. My first time. I've been watching this league for a long time since it started, and I'm just happy to be a part of this league right now. Come out here and compete and do what I do, put the ball in the hole.
It was, and let me tell you, this is a real league too. This is bigger than street ball. It's different than the NBA. This is go, 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 and these guys are going really hard at it. So what do you feel your chances are in this championship run?
Man, I feel like we got a good chance. So first of all, make the playoffs, then make a run for the championship. We got a good chance. We got a good team. A lot of group guys know what they know they role. So hopefully we come out here and get a couple wins, string a couple wins together the first couple games, and keep it going to the playoffs.
Understand that Gary Payton is very intense, usually all the time.
All the time, you know what I'm saying? You got to have real thick skin when you play for him. But I love it, though. I've been watching when I was a kid, and it's an honor to be able to play for him right now.
All right, so make sure you get your sleep before next game. Be serious.
No doubt.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right.
There you go. All right, John, Kevin Murphy and the three-headed monsters. Winners here against Tri-State on opening day in Las Vegas. Earl Clark hit some big shots early. Tri-State falling by 11. 4 games down. More to come from Vegas after this.